So we're gonna be talking about Pin, the Plastic Nightmare. I don't know what year it's from, 1988. Right, it's a Canadian film. Let's just introduce everyone first. So I'm Dean. This is Dion.
Hello.
This is Jason.
How's it?
Jared.
How's it?
And Eric.
Hello.
So the film is about a paranoid schizophrenic named Leon.
Sexually repressed.
Is he sexual? We can talk about that though.
Oh.
Okay, so paranoid schizophrenic with a dummy. What would you call it? A mannequin, doctor's mannequin or whatever. And he ventriloquize his voice. So he believes that Pin is alive. And then he kind of like kills people. Like he tries to kill one. He does technically kill the aunt.
He has like bipolar.
Yeah, bipolar. He's got like a lot of mental disorders, and then at the end of the movie, we kind of see a big reveal that he became Pin. Woo! All right, so I guess we'll go around. Dion, what were your thoughts on the movie?
I don't know what was going on most of the time. I thought it was pretty weird. I think I'm too simple to understand such an intellectual movie.
Intellectual. All right. Okay, Jason, what did you think?
Well, it was probably a good movie in its time, which is why it got such a big cult following now. Does it have a big?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's a cult horror film.
But that means it wouldn't have a big following in the
Cult
beginning.
is like a small
Cult
group.
is like a...
Small group. So over the years, it's
Yeah, over the years
Yeah.
it's developed. Probably really shit.
I
in
think
box office.
it's a good like horror movie, like the theme, basing it around mental disorders and stuff. Like
Yeah, we can talk about that. I want to talk about that.
compared to like your like generic like jump scares, ghost, killer.
Yeah.
kind of
It's a good psychological horror.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
As
much
I
I
would-
wouldn't call it a horror though, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't. More like a thriller. Yeah.
Yeah, thriller.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
and then Jared, what anything?
Basically, everything's been said.
Yeah, and Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite kind of
It
things.
wasn't terrible. It wasn't that terrible.
Yeah, it's not
shit.
bad.
but I really like it. I don't know. It's got some really fucking like good acting in it. I like a lot of like what the director's trying to incorporate. Because a lot what he does is very 80s cheese, but he doesn't fully go all the way cheese.
Yeah.
It's, the weird, shadowy kind of figure or the tension between him and the dummy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's technically what I wanted to say. Like, I think it's really difficult to get a mental theme
Yeah.
in a horror and like make it scary, because it's kind of ridiculous most of the time. I mean,
I think the
The-
best
the-
one that's recently been released is Split, the one with the multiple personalities.
I'd say that's more of a thriller. Though.
Yeah, it's also more of a
I'm
thriller.
thinking of what's that movie with the Australian movie? With
Oh, the
mother?
Babadook.
Yeah, the Babadook.
Oh,
That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, well, the first time I watched it, I thought it was fucking horrible. I didn't know what the shit was going on. I was like, yeah, the fuck. And then, like, the second time, I mean, it kind of grew on me. And now I just watch it and I love the movie. It's amazing. Alright, so, the first theme. Well, let me tell you about my first viewing, guys.
Oh yes.
I told Dion knows about this. How dumb I am. So the first time I watched the movie, I actually thought Pin was alive. I thought in the end, Ursula, which is Leon's sister, I thought Ursula killed Leon, and then she carried on living with Pin as a dummy. And
I wouldn't call it dumb if you thought Pin was alive. I mean, it's 100% they were trying to.
Yeah.
yeah, because but I
that's-
mean the second time you watch it, it's like so fucking obvious.
No,
that
I
it's
know
not-
it is.
He's
but
not alive. But I thought like the whole time he was like actually haunting them and that shit, and I was like, this is kind of cool, I guess. And then the ending, I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened? I'm so confused. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the movie. Okay, so let's talk.
Told you for like 10 minutes you're gonna talk about
What about
what's gonna
How does the mental disorders incorporate?
Well,
in the
let's
movie?
talk about the mental
Like, I
disorder
mean-
first. What we saw yesterday when we watched it
Yeah,
is
a lot of things happen here. Actually.
we saw that the father might have also been paranoid schizophrenic. So
Almost
in the
like a
beginning,
copy
when they're checking that boy's flu, they're all taken out of the office, and I can't think of Leon's dad's name, but the father then starts talking to Pin, like and no one's there, so there's really no point for him to talk to Pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got this weird obsession with Pin, just like Leon has, especially when Ursula gets that present of the doll. Then he's like super
Also-
obsessed with that doll.
So his father, when he saw Leon with Pin, and he took.
Yeah,
Pin,
I think that was
yeah.
more of a like
It could have been
he's
like,
like-
almost a jealousy.
yeah,
thing.
jealousy. And then also just a really slight detail, when Ursula gets pregnant, she walks past the father and he's reading a book and he's stirring his tea, and Leon does the exact
Yeah.
same thing when Ursula comes to talk to him about her boyfriend, which
Steve.
Stan, yeah, which is so I thought it was pretty cool. So I mean, because I'm pretty sure schizophrenia is passed down.
I don't know.
Is
Leon is a mix of his dad and his
yeah,
mother.
because his
so-
mom had
Yeah.
that like everything had to be clean and
OCD.
yeah, like a
Yeah,
OCD.
yeah.
Like in the beginning, though, they even referred to Pin like almost as the fifth family member.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously Pin didn't give her a gift, but I mean, the dad went out of the way to make it seem as if Pin gave her a gift.
Yeah, that's why I think maybe the dad was also schizophrenic.
Yeah.
I think that's just a cool touch, like on the detail side, I guess.
You could tell that Leon had traits from his dad and his mom, because like through Pin, he got his dad's traits, and then like how overprotective he was of Ursula through his mom, like that OCD, like everything, like
Yeah,
she has
yeah.
to be fine.
But I think that was all coming through his Pin personality, because when he hits Stan over the head, and he's cleaning up the blood, his Pin voice says, "Didn't your mother teach you anything? Just clean up the blood and stuff." So I guess Pin is more of a mediator between his parents and him. I don't think he had a good relationship with his parents,
yeah, you could
especially
Well,
when his dad asked him
yeah.
to count down
Well,
from 7. Like, what the
obviously
fuck? I
Pin
can't do
has-
that.
Has a big influence from his father, because his father actually was Pin because of his ventriloquism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty interesting. I mean, there's not much you can go on about that though.
But like, well, let's talk about the Pin slowly taking over Leon. Like, remember at the end when we saw
He becomes Pin.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he misses Leon. I
Would
thought
you
that was
would you
really
say
weird.
she was Elsa
Ursula?
actually killed Leon?
No.
But like,
She definitely
who
killed
takes
Pin.
figuratively.
like after like a PTSD type moment, like it just makes the Pin personality take over him,
Yeah.
and now Leon is actually like dead.
Leon's personality is
Yes.
disappeared, yeah. Or his I can't think of the word now.
Because now at the end she's just like talking with Pin and
Yeah.
says, "I miss him too."
Yeah,
when talking
yeah.
about Leon. So
Which I find really strange that they would make it like that. Because I know that can happen. I've read like a few stories about it, but I didn't know like how extreme it was.
Really like
that,
the
like-
fact that Pin died, it was so traumatic for him.
Yeah.
He latched on to the one thing that he like.
Yeah.
I actually
yeah.
read about a guy who, like, he had an accident, and he used to be a very well mannered dude. Rod through his brain, he survived, but his personality was completely different. He was angry, he was a drunk, then afterwards.
That's what,
Mm. So that could have been like after a traumatic experience, it would
Yeah.
have triggered it. And
Okay,
that
well let's
personality
talk
took
about
over.
you brought up yesterday that
Split personality.
schizophrenic, you can lose consciousness
Oh,
of when you
yes.
go, like when it happens to you.
No, that's split personality.
Is that split
That's
personality?
split personality disorder.
Because then Huh?
No.
Because I mean, if you think about that, then when he's gonna have sex with that girl, I can't think of her name, and then he's like, no, Pin, and you go check on Pin because he might come in. I'm not sure like what the whole point of that is, especially because like he then remote controls Pin around the house.
Maybe
Like, that's what I was bringing up with the sexual repression, which started with the nurse.
Yeah,
It's got an uncomfortability with sex. I mean, it's just his way of avoiding things.
how did that scene even work? Pin is like,
Yeah, because Pin sits like
That's
this.
a-
So how the fuck? Okay, yeah, but yeah, no, because if he's losing memories, or yeah, he's losing memories. All I can think about is Fight Club. Like he loses memories, but he follows himself because he's technically following Pin, but he's following himself. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't understand. Like that really doesn't apply to the film because he
Maybe
talks to each other.
maybe he like realized like that Pin, like he was becoming Pin because in that scene he's like Pin has done it before. So maybe he knows that like Pin can control him or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah. That's I don't know.
Thoughts, Dion?
What if it actually was a paranormal?
That's what I
film?
was saying. Yeah. Like
And
what
Pin
So I'm
was
not that dumb then, guys.
No.
Yes, I watched the
I
whole
don't
movie
think-
like
I
that
don't
the
think
first
it's a
time.
paranormal.
Yeah, I don't think it's paranormal.
Yeah.
I don't think it's paranormal.
But it could work as a paranormal
It
film.
could.
Oh, but Jason, you brought up in your thoughts of the film, you said you were happy that it's not a paranormal film.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So I watched The Invitation, also with Hereditary. Both endings lean towards like cult or sci-fi, supernatural, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the whole film up until that point is like still really, really good
Yeah.
as a standalone like mental disorder film.
But this film is actually believable. It could be possible that could happen in real life, unlike other horrors with paranormal activity and shit.
No, but I guess it could.
Yeah, that's
You
what
guys
I'm-
haven't watched Hereditary, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the cult stuff doesn't take away from what things represent in Hereditary.
yeah, but I'm saying like if the soul, like the baseline of the film was the guilt and that kind of stuff, then I think it would have a stronger ending than them being like, oh, hail payment or whatever.
But you mean just the ending?
Yeah. Because I mean, it makes a lot of sense, like the whole film as a
Right.
cult film. But I'm saying if it was just
But it doesn't. But what my point is, it doesn't.
Yeah, I know,
detract
yeah,
from
yeah,
it,
if anything, it adds.
Right.
Yeah. But I just, because I mean,
No one
she
else
was-
here has seen Hereditary.
She was like floating around the room.
Shut up.
But I mean, like, what the
Whatever.
fuck is that?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah. So,
Pin almost made me like have the same feeling as that big reveal in The Boy, like when he's second guessing if. No, I'm not.
I like that movie.
No.
But like you second guess yourself the whole time. Like you like, okay, is it her imagining all of these things happening? Is she crazy, or is it actually like something that's possessed the doll?
Yeah, I thought
It's
it was
a-
a possession movie the whole time.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was getting.
I was so surprised at the end.
That's where I'd say most of the horror from Pin comes from, because that's what I'm saying now. I don't think it's dumb if you thought that it might have.
been
Because we've been like conditioned to believe these like
Yeah.
Yeah,
supernatural
but it's
things.
where most of the tension is supposed to come from the film. I mean, if you thought he wasn't real the whole time, what is there to fear?
Yeah, true. Especially that part where he like comes up, kills the aunt.
Oh,
Oh, I love that scene so much. When he just like, you just see Leon stand up behind him and he's like, oh yeah. That part's really stupid.
God, no.
How the fuck did she die from that? It
It's
was-
like a heart attack.
Yeah, but I mean like, come on.
Some scary looking thing with red
What
eyes coming
happened?
up your bed.
What would happen? She gets up, she doesn't have a heart attack, she just looks and then just Leon stands up afterwards like, oh Leon, what the fuck are you doing here?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the daughter could be blamed for all of the murders because she knew exactly what was happening. She knew how obsessed he was with Pin, and she didn't tell anyone. Like, okay, I know
I
it's
think she
kind
was
of a
embarrassed.
hard thing to do.
Yeah. She did tell Stan. And Stan was a bit of a prick.
Stan was just dumb.
It's like, he's talking about raping your sister. I mean, okay. But
Yeah, he's good
Poetry.
poems.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I think one of the times I was watching it, like, what's the whole deal with his hobby, writing? And I thought maybe you could link it towards his disorder, where he creates people in his head, and now he's creating things like on a page, like he's writing characters out instead of imagining characters in his head. I thought
It
maybe.
could be one of his coping mechanisms
Yeah, like
that
one of his
didn't
coping-
actually
yeah.
make him completely turn to Pin.
But I mean, still, then it doesn't make sense why he speaks about raping his sister.
Yeah.
But
Well, that could be the
I'll-
sexual.
Yeah,
the
sexual- because they both.
Can we talk about that scene though? That with the nurse?
I wanted to, but I don't know what you want to talk about.
Doesn't make sense.
No, because Pin's like fucking arms are like this, dude, and then wouldn't his penis be flaccid?
Yeah,
And he just,
they wouldn't make it with a.
Well, technically it could be hard because it's made
But
of
but
like
what
a
if
plastic-
it's like it moves? Because we know his head moves. She lifted his
Yeah,
head up.
yeah.
And she was
Yeah.
like, oh, come to me, Pin. So I mean, like,
But Pin is like this.
and she's holding him like,
And then-
oh, it just
and
doesn't
then-
make any
wait,
sense.
Was she holding with both hands?
Yeah, she was moving him with her legs and stuff.
Because she might have, like, had the one hand there and then just been imagining it the whole time. Like, imagining
It still
that.
doesn't
know
make
what
sense
that
how she
added.
got
Yeah,
like,
it was weird.
because she would have her legs open.
Yeah,
But
no,
Pin's
no,
legs
no.
would be like this.
What I'm
Just doesn't
saying-
make sense. Like, yeah, you
What
want to
if he doesn't-
demonstrate? Like,
like-
it doesn't make sense.
You know
What if it
that-
doesn't even have a willy?
No, it does
does,
because they
because
showed those.
those-
Like, look at the wig.
And then Ursula's acting this like. Oh, I love that
No, no,
part.
So what I'm saying is maybe she's lying like this and she's like holding him like how he was, but she's not using any parts of it at all.
Oh, she's
like
just
using-
pretending that someone's on top of her.
pretending that it is happening. And she's like,
But
using
why
I
would
guess.
you? It's like a see-through thing.
This movie is about schizophrenic people. Do you really think it's gonna make sense?
This,
I'm
the movie
lying.
just
Can we talk about why they took a blood test for a kid with flu?
Oh, Jesus.
It's
Pretty hot blood.
the iron levels. Okay.
And then also, did Leon ever go to college? Did he ever?
Did he get good
Did
grades?
he ever apply? We don't know. Yeah.
So in the beginning with the
Added nothing.
so the beginning of the film with the 4 kids, that was actually the end when he.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Because it says in the,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the title card. It's like 17 years,
15.
15 years earlier.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Didn't
I didn't
understand.
even piece that together. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't. That whole intro is just. They could have
Gonna-
scrapped it.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I think
It doesn't
Eric,
add to the story.
Eric can confirm that the scariest scene was when the nurse comes.
Yes.
through.
Yeah, I told them. I was like, you got
I
a jump
think
scare from
there's
that.
literally one jump scare, and I think it's a joke jump scare. It's when the nurse comes out of nowhere, and she does come out of nowhere. It's like, "Hi,
I
what
know, I've seen it
did
twice now. It's like, that seems amazing. But I don't see. What's the point of the nurse? I mean, to feed him, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
she,
but
her sister is alive. You can't just
Oh,
say
Eric
that.
did show me the mic, so it does exist.
It does
Where
exist.
is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
It's like in the one scene where we were watching the top. I think mine was just cropped at the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll talk.
Yeah, I know. Because I was like,
So
It's like- it's
in the
like
kitchen when they
this
were busy
big.
arguing about
it's like if
like
you
a
put.
big
It
movement.
looks like someone shooting a torpedo.
It's like this little blurry black thing that dips for like
Oh,
half a
damn.
second. It's nothing.
But it exists. I'm not
It does
crazy.
exist, but it's nothing. Don't think much
I
of it.
spotted it the first time.
No, shut up.
I think the camera work was pretty decent because like
That
there
was
was a lot
horrible.
of long shots, weren't there? Like in the kitchen scene where the cameraman like.
No,
hands
no,
and
there were
then
no long
hands
shots.
back.
I mean, like a minute is not a long shot. I
But
guess
it
it's
was
long.
a
but-
film back then. I mean,
No.
The 80s.
Back then,
Oh.
yeah, the fuck, Jason, they were doing like full movies, one shots and stuff.
Yeah, like the Superman movie, dude.
Yeah. I've read there's this movie I have downloaded. This one cinematographer that on my hard drive. His one film, like all of his scenes are at least 30 minutes long, which is pretty insane.
Gives a shit.
No, well, I mean, you don't have to give a shit, but it's just pretty cool.
Have you ever seen the Alfred Hitchcock movie? It's called like Ropes or Ties or something.
Ropes.
Ropes. It's called Ropes.
I
Have
haven't
you
seen
seen
it.
it? Okay.
I know about
Basically, he tried to make one long film, but because the cameras back then couldn't do that, he had to like cut it. It's very interesting. Like if you try to watch it.
I watched a lot about it. I haven't watched the film though, but I know
Okay.
a lot about it because
So
of
you're
editing
trying
and
to,
stuff.
like you make cuts and then try
Yeah,
to stitch
rope.
them together.
It's very
really
interesting because like
Well,
the
like
mo-
if a guy walks past,
Mm.
like those transitions,
Yeah.
like those kind
like
of.
it's interesting. The movie starts like in the daytime, and as it goes along, you can see it getting more darker outside.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That must have been really hard to film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have patience for that shit.
They got
But I heard that
97%
Hitchcock
Don't-
like fully plans his movies, dude.
Oh.
Like his storyboards are like literally.
What's he gonna
scene
bring
for
up the
scene.
fact that he always like bust into women's showers?
Oh, I don't give a shit about that. Have you seen him in the beginning of North by Northwest? Some fat dude staring at the telephone.
He's a weird looking man.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sounds like a cute
Diane,
movie.
don't you have anything to add?
No, not really.
A what? Say again.
Speak up.
Ooga booga. Huh?
Hey, I'm gonna go climb back in my coffin and
Has anyone else seen Nosferatu except me and Eric? I fucking hate that movie. I hate it so much. When it pauses, there's like this intense music. And then you have to read what they're saying. It's like, what the fuck? Oh well. So, Dion, you wanted to talk about self-awareness.
Yes.
Listen, that was long ago.
No.
I
You
remember
still have
things.
to talk about it though. Come, bring it
Okay,
up.
fine. I'll lay out the topic.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, actually, I need to think about this. It's difficult because I have no idea what I want to say.
Okay, I'll talk at the moment. You think. Where the hell did Leon get Pin's skin from? I thought you said you liked this movie.
I do,
Oh, I have a movie. You've seen it. We've all seen it. The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah!
I love that movie. Okay.
Oh, God.
So here's the rundown.
That poor fucking man.
He must have fucking died in the water, dude. How the hell he held his breath for so long, it just amazes me. Getting tangled in the weeds there constantly. Well, let's talk about the ending. Is he the same creature from The Shape of Water?
100%.
No,
yes.
he's modeled after like a Mirelurk. It's quite a common mythical like kind of creature thing.
Yeah, but he survived, and then they kept him.
I'm
and
just
then
saying,
Del Toro captured him again, and they used him
The
in
way
his
they
film.
look is based on an image of a Mirelurk. It's like the Minotaur. It's a very classic old Greek kind of mythology thing.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
So then why is it in Del Toro's movie? Oh, well,
Why?
he used a lot of mythical
Yeah.
creatures. Yeah, okay, never mind. That's kind of dumb.
Like fairies.
Is
Yeah.
it the same creature though?
No,
That's the real question.
I don't
Oh.
think so.
My favorite scene from that movie is when.
Have you thought about what you want to say? Bro? Don't come here talking if you haven't thought about what you just want to say.
My favorite scene from that whole movie was when the camera like pans to the lake and you see like that hand come out
Oh
of the
no,
lake.
my favorite part is when he climbs up and that music gets so intense and he just grabs it and just jumps off.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? This is too good. Especially that part, I don't know if you guys were paying attention, when he was stalking her in the water. Oh, I love that scene so much, because he like goes close, it's like, oh, and then he doesn't touch her. It's like, what the fuck? It's like he's a fucking monster. He just ate 2 Mexican dudes like in the 50 minutes before. And now he's not touching this chick who's swimming with a pointy ass bra on. But I mean,
We have to watch this movie next. Love Object.
oh no.
We have to.
Okay, Dan, come on. You gotta talk. Just say anything
Anything
about
Something
self-awareness.
else come to mind.
about what?
Your topic.
Oh, okay. Well, with the self-awareness thing,
It's like, why do people still do it if they're self-aware?
No, yeah, well, that's actually a good thing. That's part of what I want to say. It's like, to what extent can you be self-aware, and like, how can you really classify someone as being self-aware if they still act a certain way? Like, do you think they then are still considered self-aware, but then specifically choose to ignore certain things?
Well, this is something that I actually read the other day. This like changed version of ideology. So ideology used to be that you do something without knowing it. I think like in layman's terms. And then the new one is that we all know what we're doing, but we carry on doing it, and that's the new ideology. I don't quite
But I don't
understand
think
it.
everyone technically.
Yeah, I mean, because like everyone says
progressively
like
evolves
phones are
over
bad
time.
for you, like social media is bad for you. It's bad like for dopamine strikes and
Are
stuff.
you
But
talking
carry on
about the
doing
general
it.
ideology that is with humans?
Well, I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about self-awareness.
Oh.
Yeah, because I mean, people still say that kind of stuff like, yeah, it's bad to be on your phone and that kind of stuff, but people still do it anyways. No one's gonna
Yeah.
stop. But I mean, if the signs are there, I'm not saying the signs like, especially for cell phones and shit, like who cares? But it's like bad for you, but people still do it. Like McDonald's is unhealthy, but I'm still gonna eat that shit. It's good.
You know, what I found interesting, that the World Health Organization listed gaming
Gaming as
as
an addiction.
an addiction.
No, a disorder.
A
Oh,
disorder.
yeah,
disorder.
mental
A
disorder.
mental disorder.
I think it could be though.
No, but like
in
logically-
hectic
Okay, yeah.
like cases where people just fucking play constantly. That's bad for you.
I can agree and disagree with you.
My main argument would be like, why are they specifically attacking gaming?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
you could say anything has a disorder. Like, you get these
This
folks who
can be a
gym,
disorder.
like,
A phone can be a
literally
disorder.
Yeah. But I'm saying like,
I think it's just a case of like
I think it's
priority. I don't think it's necessarily like they obviously can't list every.
Yeah, but I mean, no. But then why target gaming? It's like, I
Because
think
it's-
they have some vendetta against it. Like, what about this social media thing where people are literally like stuck to Facebook? I think that's an actual.
But I think that's
a
like-
mental disorder.
I mean, you could go into conspiracy theories there, like,
Yeah,
yo,
but I
Mr.
mean-
Zuck doesn't want them.
The number of people that have died because of like the gaming thing compared to like the social media thing is quite.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause
Yeah, but
remember
now
people
these
were
The
are
gaming
saying,
thing is a more focused sort of.
because people were saying, well, I mean, you could even talk about cell phone gaming, because remember those
Yeah.
people were dying from Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
Yeah.
also like if someone is addicted to trying to get followers, they will do anything to
Yeah.
try and get
Yeah.
followers.
especially that
But I don't
dopamine
think
hit
that-
every time you get a
I don't
like.
think Pokemon Go is a good example.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
no.
like.
Yeah, there's
That's
that
just being
Flappy
dumb,
Birds where they
bro.
stabbed the brother or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, but I mean, like, it's just really stupid. I think.
I feel like they're only targeting isolated cases that aren't.
Yeah, no, I
Generally.
agree.
Yeah.
I feel
Because,
like
Yeah.
They must be talking about people who are like addicted and are sitting down there and like flipping shitting in their pants and crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but
it-
it spawned from that chick who peed herself playing Fortnite
Yeah.
because she didn't want to go to the toilet and miss the game.
Yeah, but you see, that's
That's her
that's
fault.
not
It's not
generally-
gaming. Yeah.
That's the parents' fault for
Yeah,
also
exactly.
not doing that,
No,
and also
I-
their fault.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's the parents. I think
Yes,
I
it
would
is.
agree with Eric. Like, it's a mental thing. Like, it's your priority. So she puts the playing Fortnite above
Well,
all
who
of her
raised-
other.
who
no,
raises
but
the
that's,
parents?
yeah,
It is a
that's
parental- it's a
again back
parental
on the
thing.
parent.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can't be classified as a mental disorder, but I think your upbringing has a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
being taught to do this and then you can game and then you can game for like this
Yeah.
amount of period or whatnot.
But
The parents must have discipline. In
There
the
needs to be
family.
some
Yeah.
sort of guidelines.
okay, but
as
think
well.
about it. Like, if you discipline, right? There's still gonna be that part of you that's gonna want to do it. Like, let's say you weren't allowed to play a
Yeah,
game.
but there's always that
There's
one to
always
do
that.
something.
You're gonna
I'm just
find a
saying-
way to do it anyway. So
I
your
think
parents don't
this
have
more
full
applies to,
control.
Yes,
like-
but your parents have an influence on you for the future, so it'll be like a subconscious thing saying, okay, I shouldn't play this much. It's not bad. I should go outside.
I
have
think
some
this
fresh
is
air."
more. This more applies to children as a gaming
Yeah.
disorder
Mm.
because, I mean, older people they have that want. But you have to go to school. Like you have to go to school. You have to go to work if you want to
Yeah,
play.
because
And there's like that thing that it's like I mean, there's
I
no
think
point in playing
ironically
forever.
it's focused on younger children because they're still learning and developing.
Yeah, and think about it.
They don't have that
Technology is
composure,
only
yeah.
lately becoming a big thing. Like, I didn't grow up with iPads and shit. Now, fucking kids grow up with free Wi-Fi and fucking Sky.
Yeah,
essentially.
my cousins, when they were young, they used to play like on their iPads all the time. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm riding my bike outside.
Yeah.
Still, like when I'm like,
But
I was
okay,
reading
like
Gob.
15.
I was doing drugs.
Real man.
Wait, just one more thing I want to bring up with the gaming thing. I also think I'm in a way going back to what I said. Maybe gaming is not necessarily a cause and effect thing, you know. Okay, let's take the girl Peter Pan. The cause of that, can you really link it just to the gaming?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, that's.
or-
yeah,
I think the gaming was just the trigger, like the last straw for it.
It's because I mean a human being can attach itself to nigh anything and
But
it can
that's-
self-destruct
But that's the
itself.
problem with people these days. They don't look at context of
Yeah,
something.
context
They
matters.
just look at that
A
one thing
lot.
and be like, oh, it's that thing's fault. They don't look
Yeah.
at the process of the causality that led up to
Mm.
that specific moment
It's
in
just
time.
it's so psychology of human beings are so fucking weird.
Fascinating.
My
It
God.
is actually.
I mean, like people who like kill like out of whatever kind of pleasure thing. Like till this day, they still don't have any idea what could
That
affect it
fascinates me
into.
so
Yeah.
much. That Ted Bundy interview when he's like, when he says he knew what he was doing and he's just like, so what? I couldn't help him. Like,
Yeah.
that makes no sense to
That
me.
Edward Kemper guy as well.
And I never remember his name. The guy who did Lunatic Ice Pick.
God damn it.
Dude, he just like filmed the whole shit and put it
Yeah.
on the internet like he was proud of it. So I mean, it just is interesting.
There's also this one guy, like, I don't know, he like kills people that, like, he goes out with people and they don't want to be with him, they kill him, so they actually don't leave him. And it was because it was him who actually,
That's weird.
I know, but like, what's his name?
Well, how old was this girl who like peed herself?
She was like 13.
9, I think.
Was it 9? That's young. Yeah, I mean, yes.
I think up to a
They was
certain
playing
age,
Battlefront
you
2.
could you could say that it's the parents' fault, but like think about all of those.
No, but,
It's not
Um,
the parents'
there
fault,
was-
but
no,
they
there
have
was an
that
interview,
influence on what they think.
There was an interview and the parent did say that they only give her like an hour, and that's why she peed because she
Oh,
didn't want
she
to
didn't
waste.
wanna waste the
Yeah, she
hour.
didn't want to waste the hour.
Fine line.
Maybe Fortnite Girl's not a good example.
Yeah,
for
no.
It's just some dumb girl. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but that's weird.
You know, I also think she was probably just really stupid as well. It's not just
Yeah.
What the fuck does that have to do with self-awareness?
I thought we strayed from that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Or did we? No.
did we?
This is a conversation.
Yes.
though.
No, we changed it to the World Health Organization classifying
Oh yeah,
like gaming as a mental health disorder.
It's a conversation. Let it flow.
Flow of consciousness.
Is anyone else?
Come on, faggot! Say what you wanted to say about self-awareness.
Yeah, I said it already.
No, he hijacked it. Remember?
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah, but I already asked the question. I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about it.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you think about
Like-
it?
Wait, how are you
What-
relating
yeah,
to self-awareness?
yeah, how
to-
you relating to
No, like how can you classify yourself as self-aware?
Oh, is this not got to do with any of the moves now? You just like.
Oh yeah, no.
starting
This,
a new
How do you
thing
know
and
if you're self-aware? Are
Exactly,
you self-aware
like-
about your self-awareness?
Have you
It's
guys
like
heard about the
Westworld
mind body problem?
You watched the ending yet?
No, not yet.
Have you guys heard about the mind body problem?
no.
Alright, so there's this guy that pops into existence, right? Fully grown. However, he does not have the senses of smell, touch, sight, whatever, but he has a working brain. Is he self-aware and conscious? Because now this is the thing, either you're a dualist or a physicalist.
Does it come down to I think therefore I am, or
It's sort, yeah, but that's Descartes. That's something else. That's something. Well, it's sort of similar, but that's like it's in
it has to
between.
do with being? Though.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, but what do you
Descartes-
classify as self-awareness though? Because if he knows that he's there, then he's self-aware.
How does he know he's there though?
Oh shit.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, you can be self-aware of many different things. What must he be aware of in this case?
It's.
He knows
thinking-
he's
has-
So
alive.
that's a really
If
good
you
How
break it-
does he know he's alive though?
because he can think.
This is what I'm
He's
thinking.
popped
Like,
into existence. He's like a fresh.
no. Think about it like lucid dreaming. You don't like you're dreaming. You don't know it,
But
and then
yeah.
you can like just like something in your head
I
just
thought
triggers
lucid
it.
dreaming is that you know you're dreaming.
Yeah, and like it just triggers,
Oh.
and then you know that you're
Oh,
dreaming.
okay.
It's like you dream, and then usually, well, I mean, like
Well,
your teeth will fall out, and then you're like, oh wait, I'm dreaming, and then
if you break it down, like if he's just there and he's conscious, you break it down so his brain is performing all the normal functions, right? Except obviously without the senses. If you like relate it to like a plant, it's also got that one part of it that tells it what to do. Like
yeah.
so, then I don't know if you could be calling that self-aware there.
That's another thing. So we all know how to move, right?
Yes.
And you can think how to move. You can be self-aware on
Yes,
how you
but-
move and
but
how you breathe.
now,
But then your
is that
brain,
learned-
like,
is that experience or just already in your mind when you're born? Is
no,
that
that's experience, I think.
yeah? So
'Cause you learn how to do that.
so that experience uses the senses. How does he know that?
So you're saying the senses give you self-awareness? Is that what you?
Well, I mean, you
Well,
have
I
to
don't know.
define
This
man.
is-
No, I
Angela,
mean,
but
no
this is-
one
this is
teaches a
question.
baby to breathe. It figures it out, so he's gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Then
But
he
then
knows
no,
he's
but
alive.
I'm saying like, if you're walking down the road, are you self-aware of you walking? I mean, you are because you know that you're walking, but like, you don't consciously think about walking. So are you self-aware or are you just
it
doing
just happens?
What is
Yeah.
the
Just happens.
definition?
I'm confused. I mean, self-aware is just knowing what you're
Such a
doing.
broad
It's
topic
just-
there.
Yeah.
This is a branch in philosophy that goes into. But
I mean, your senses can be tricked. Does that mean you're not self-aware?
It says
Yeah.
the
the
self-awareness
definition-
is the acknowledgement of oneself.
The
So
definition is
like
the conscious knowledge of one's own character and feelings.
acknowledgement of oneself.
and feelings?
Yeah.
Just a
But again, like I said, like, but that comes down to, I think, therefore, I don't know.
Descartes.
Yeah.
Because the senses can be tricked, but the fact that you yourself can recognize that it can be things.
Do you know how Descartes got to that?
No, I have no idea.
Through the doubt. He doubted everything he believed in,
Oh yeah,
and then through that process, he just came to the exact same thing. As like, well,
since he can,
if it can
if you
doubt,
can doubt it, then it
then
means.
it's there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you can question something, then
Yes.
it's being self-aware.
Oh,
So
I'm
we,
applied to
so we
myself.
can take an animal for example. They are like they have the primal consciousness in them. They don't actually really think. Well, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
So like, are they self-aware?
'Cause, I mean, animals don't give a shit about their emotions.
That's not true.
But well, I mean,
Yes,
with
there
a
are specific animals.
you don't see
that-
like a fucking lion like crying like, "Oh, my bitch left me." He's like, he just fucking goes
but
out
a lot
and
of
eats and then
mammals,
sleeps.
but a lot of mammals have been shown to produce sort of emotional chemicals in the brain
Yeah,
and
like-
can react to
Yeah.
them.
I mean, you know, like a dog. cries
Especially
and stuff.
orcas. Yes, orcas. Fucking
But
swallow.
And dolphins.
They say potentially some are even swallowing people.
Yes.
But like,
They
so
don't have
saying how someone
houses.
watching a sad film, right? They are aware, like, okay, this is me. This is how I am. I know this movie isn't real or whatnot. And then they say now cry during the movie. They're aware that nothing's real. They're aware that they're not really sad, but they still cry.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they really self-aware if they choose to
Mm.
just ignore that they're not sad and cry?
I'd say yeah. You're clearly quite in tune with yourself if you
Yeah.
can detect all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I guess.
Why are you crying in movies, Dion?
I cried the dumbest shit, dude. I cried so hard when I watched Charlotte's Web.
Really?
Can I explain why? I just have you ever had a sadness because something's over?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like
yeah.
it ended badly or anything like that. I like just finished
Terra
the
Nova. They never brought that shit
Oh,
back.
and I just finished the book, right? And I was like, oh, it was a really nice, and I was kind of sad. So when I watched the movie and I saw the spider dead, it just triggered something. Like cried a lot, like badly.
Oh,
I
shit.
cried.
So is that what you're asking, Dion? Like, if you just like cry for and you just.
No, you
don't
know
do-
it's
Not
sad.
necessarily
but
just
you
for
just
crying.
cry.
I was just,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
trying to think of an example, and I can't
Well,
think
yeah.
of a really shit example.
I think,
No,
I
no,
that was a
think,
good
it's a good
example.
example.
Yeah, it's a good
I
example.
think it's obviously a very personal thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Crying
Yeah.
emotions or whatever. It has to come from somewhere. and most of that kind of feelings comes from is very close to the memory part of our brain.
The childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff has to do with
Could
childhood.
self-awareness be related to like learning? So you learn like okay, if you put your hand on a fire, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's like,
Experience.
ow.
Yeah,
So
experience.
you're
Yeah.
gaining that knowledge. Could that be related to like self-awareness?
Yeah, but that's like walking.
But that's
You learn how to walk.
But these are
Yeah,
all
yeah.
different views on this matter because you can't really you can't have the empiricism view of experience and then a view of dualism where you say the physical body is separate from the consciousness. You can't have those two together. You can't mix.
Can you just explain those two?
Okay, dualism.
You know the floating man problem? The floating man I just said?
Yeah, yeah.
So, the dualism is saying that your mind is separate from the physical world, so he would have consciousness and would think. And physicalism, and with empiricism and all that crap, you say that your conscious is linked to your physical thing, being in the world, the physical world. So that's how your consciousness grows and you know everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Does that have anything to do with religion though? Like just off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, Descartes was a Christian and he doubted Christianity, but then he was like, well, if God could make me doubt, that means I can think and he made me, therefore he is real, so then there.
No, I'm saying
Like in general?
if your mind is not separate to your body, you die. I'm trying to say that.
Oh.
Is that
If
anything
you're-
religious on the?
Well, no, oh yeah. So yeah, that would be more like atheism then.
Yeah, but
That would be
is it linked in text,
It-
or is it just?
It can be.
Okay.
It can be.
It's
literally
on the
philosophy can be that
Anything.
these can link to anything,
If you-
even philosophy of
You
AI.
question it. It's
Yeah, it's
philosophy.
Yeah.
literally. Yeah.
Yes, I could go on forever about religion and shit.
Let's go on about
No,
religion.
not in a bad way.
Ooh, controversial.
Yeah, that's what
It's like a controversial one that pops on controversy.
There's a word that I found out. It's called phaneron. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. So
Of course not.
so there's the real world, and then there's the phaneron. So we all live in the phaneron because
So
we
our-
never know what the real world could be like. Because we all,
So-
it's like a perceptual thing.
So like our bodies are like in the real world, but our minds.
No,
are
no,
in
no,
that
no, no.
place.
So the way
It's
we
like-
perceive the world
so
is our
so
family.
Jason could say, yeah, Diane's cool, right? Hear me out. And then Jared comes up to me. He tells me, Jason said that Diane's lame. So my phaneron is that Jason said that Diane's lame, but the real world is that Jason said Diane's cool.
So it's your reality according to.
But that
what
sounds
you know.
situational.
But
Yeah, it's all
Wait,
like,
so is
but
it-
you live your whole life
So
knowing these
it's
things.
your reality from what you.
What you've perceived in your whole life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it like I like sushi and then someone else is like I don't like sushi. So they perceive the world that they don't like sushi.
I mean,
Okay,
obviously
so-
on bigger
But-
topics, but this is like really basic stuff.
Isn't this like that movie that they talk about in that philosophy movie?
They live.
Yeah, They Live,
With
where
the-
he puts
Oh,
on the glasses.
No,
and
but that's
everything.
ideology though.
Yeah.
No, I know,
Yeah.
I understand that's ideology, but I feel like you could link it
Well, you
straight
could-
to
It
that.
can.
bring religion
Yeah.
into
Because
this now as well,
because
kind of.
technically we are being brainwashed in a way to fit into society.
I wouldn't say brainwash. I'd
Oh,
just say
okay.
it's like a normal thing. It's just like what people
We're
associate.
told how things are, even though
Like we're told
Yeah.
the screen is flat, but how do we actually know it's flat? I don't say because they
Based-
fucking measured it and fucking do science.
No, well, because
Based off.
flat was a word associated to things of that nature. So then I guess.
Yeah, so it's based
Wait,
off.
So it's
that.
based on
This-
that, yeah.
This is I brought up this topic like a while ago. Like let's say with colors, right? You get taught that blue is blue, red is red,
Oh,
green is
Yeah,
green.
Yeah.
that's a phaneron.
So-
like
so
if
then-
you see colors, it's different.
What happens if like the color that you see is red
Yeah.
is a different color for someone
Yeah,
else?
so-
but they've been
so
taught
you're-
that that's
That,
red.
that's literally just your eyes. Literally everyone sees shades of colors differently.
Yeah, because females have a higher hue ratio or something like
No,
that.
no, but no, you don't
Really?
understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like,
And mammals
The-
is green because it's the most naturally occurring color. We can see it easier than other things. It's not how we perceive it. It's just how it is, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like,
I get what it means though. Like if you're seeing red,
and then this guy like Dean is seeing red, but it's like my green.
Yeah.
But it's still red.
Yeah.
So like what I'm saying
So
is,
red would be the Phaneron, and then
Yeah.
you seeing green, and then it's.
It's still red.
Well, no, I
Sounds
mean-
like
I mean the
pseudoscience to
real
me.
Phaneron.
Why
yeah,
do you
okay.
think some people prefer one color over another?
Why?
You know, like why would someone find blue more appealing than red?
I think
Because-
that's
I
because
think
of
it's
a
in-
childhood.
yeah,
it's
it's
like a
like
dopamine
emotions
thing, I
and-
guess.
Could be emotions linked to this.
I mean, there's a
That
lot
could
of
go so deep.
there's a lot of color theories out there. I mean, the way
Do you know
the
how-
way yellow affects the brain and sort of the
Yellow's supposed to be a really good like concentration type thing. I don't know.
Like how a lot of colors work is actually pretty cool. Because I was looking, there's no like I think it's butterflies. There's no butterfly with a blue wing, like a naturally blue wing, but there are butterflies with blue wings, and the blue comes from a lack of pigment of every other color. So it's not that it's blue.
So
It's
what
just
is-
that
so,
the
so
light-
you're saying that your eyes aren't actually naturally blue then?
No,
Well,
no,
so-
no,
so
no, no.
what
It's
you're
not.
saying is
No,
you-
I'm
No,
saying. No, it's not what I'm saying.
just in terms of
I'm
color.
saying like so the sun will shine onto it,
Yeah.
and then all the other colors will absorb the sun.
Yeah,
But
that-
blue is the only color
that's
that
what
reflects.
gives everything color. Is basically just
Yeah, but I'm
what
saying
it
there
does.
is like
That's
actual
even with
color,
the
like
sky, I
pigment.
think,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
the red and green lights are.
So
Yeah.
you're saying there isn't actually a pigment like a hue of
blue.
blue in
In-
the actual
in
like
nature or
chemistry
something.
of the.
I think it's in nature in general, like in the whole of.
Oh,
yeah.
there's no blue flowers.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
this.
blue is the least occurring.
You can
color.
get really bright purple,
Yeah,
and then.
because I know there's no blue, which is
That,
really
that's
cool.
why they say if you eat food like let's say on a blue plate you'll eat less because it's the least occurring color. It's like just unappetizing to the brain.
Oh, that's
Really?
really
This is like
cool.
an
Wait, what's
unnatural,
this?
like-
Yeah, because it's unnatural. The
You
blue.
got a fan
If you
of
eat
it.
food on a blue plate because it's such a rare occurring color, it like displaces the
Oh,
brain so you eat less
yeah, I was
food.
about to. I
Do
was
you think the
okay.
opposite would occur if you ate on a blue plate?
I don't know.
But it's not relating to blue colored food though.
No, just.
I don't know.
Because I would rather eat blue sweets, like, because I know of the flavoring of blue relating to like.
It's
berry
just
or
I think it just comes from the juxtaposition between what's on the plate
Yeah.
and the plate itself.
It's like it's back to that like primal instinct thing.
Yeah.
Like you don't eat that shit that doesn't look good.
Does that color thing apply to everything? Like your genes technically on blue. That it just
No, I think that's
I see it as blue.
Do you mean with the light?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
dark-
that's what gives
Yeah.
everything color, basically, light. Photon.
Dion's tripping balls here. Well,
Oh wow.
any other topics?
I don't know.
I mean, we could end it.
Do you think religious people
Oh, God.
can die
Controversy.
easier because they have a
Oh.
predetermined like
I think that's
idea
the whole
of
point
the
of-
end of life?
What's
Well,
what's
that's
the
why
question?
that's what I think religion is.
What? Wait, I didn't hear.
So the question was, do people die easier if they like believe there's a predestined
Yes.
afterlife?
Doesn't
Yes.
that
Yeah,
just come
that's
down
what I'm
to
trying to
I
say
will
though.
Yes.
Because like I think religion was made exactly for that reason. Like people would be shitting at bricks, right? And then someone comes in, they're like, listen,
Religion
Yeah.
and faith is.
Can I
you
ask
can go somewhere, don't worry. And then they're like, oh,
Can I ask
God.
a big religious question? Do you believe that morals come from the religion?
No,
Actually.
I think it was already instilled in our brains before then, and then they just wrote it down into the
But
religious
it-
scriptures. Like it's like a subconscious thing that we already know.
Wait,
I'm-
so
I'm
what?
50-50
Just
on
repeat
that.
that question. Explain it a bit.
Do our morals that we have today come from scriptures or religion?
Like in general.
Yeah.
So not just your
Like thou
personal.
shalt
moral.
not steal, thou shalt not, you know.
I feel
I-
like religion. Oh, yeah, gee.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
you can go,
yeah,
you can
Sorry.
go.
I feel like religion had a big influence on like enforcing those morals.
Oh, definitely, dude. Religion.
On enforcing. But like things you can morals just like formula seeing how something result in something bad, so then don't do that.
Well, I mean, someone had to come up with them.
Well, no, it would develop over time. It wouldn't be
No, I'm
just
saying like the morals when they wrote them down.
Oh yeah.
Someone had to have thought of them.
Well, I'm assuming there will be like a group of people like don't do
Moses. With these big fucking stone tablets.
Anyway, you're saying the
I
other.
think religion can affect your morals, but I don't think they're like the prime thing. I think a lot of your culture, your location, everything has to do with it. I don't think you can like.
I mean,
I don't
there's
mean like today's more like you growing up. I mean like talk the beginning of start of
Yeah, but you
people
could-
themselves.
If you bring up there's that tribe, like that no one's ever been to.
Oh, the Sentinel Island tribe.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they have they don't see
where they think the sun is a giant demon.
those like I mean,
Sentinelese.
even if you stole back, I'm pretty sure there was a religion then. Though. Like if you stole, they cut your fucking arm off.
I think religion was just formed because if someone they just scared of the unknown and wanted
Yeah,
an explanation.
They needed it. Like, yeah, we're not comfortable with the unknown.
Yeah.
I think someone wanted an extra shekel.
Yeah, man.
Controversy!
I need something to through my nose.
Shit.
Oh lord.
Yeah. This is coming in heavy here. Don't talk
I
the
know,
whole time.
it's
you
obviously just an opinion, but like, I feel like there's a million things you could say about
That's
religion.
what my
I think
dad
there's a
told me when
million
I was really
viewpoints
young.
as well.
We went to, it was Easter and we went to the church and my dad walked out and I was like, why do you walk out? And my mom's like, no, he doesn't like this stuff. I was like, what, you don't have to like this stuff. So I walked out as well. and then he's like, I was like, why'd you walk out? He's like, no, I think it's just a money making scheme. I was like, oh, okay. And then I wasn't religious. So after that,
I mean, technically, no one really has evidence of for or against anything. Like, I can say it's a money-making scheme, but then again, it's just an opinion. I have no proof that
Yeah.
anyone's actually in the end benefiting from it. But in the end, no one on this planet can prove that there is a god or whatnot. And, well, that's also an opinion, I
Yeah.
guess. But
I also think you
That-
can't prove it. There's no way you can prove it until you die.
Exactly.
But I mean, what about those people who go and they die and then they come back, like they go into a coma or something and they come back and they're like, yeah, I saw Jesus. I mean, it must be like
Auxiliary context.
I'm gonna email him.
we talked last night.
You picture chat each
No,
other.
like
We
it's
spoke
like
before,
a-
dude.
It could be like a money-making scheme because it gets them attention. Like, oh,
Yeah,
look,
but I mean,
but like-
I think they actually do see something. I just think that it's like a dream state that they
Yeah,
go
yeah.
into. Like a
Like-
lucid
like
dream
also-
state. They want to believe it. So
like
they
how
have
he
faith.
said that people don't like the unknown, and your imagination is like really, really powerful in making
Yeah.
up things.
Yeah.
So you could be like on the verge of death and be like, oh well, Jesus is gonna take me like that. You wake up, you see a fucking figure, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, the amount of chemicals, if the brain realizes it's in distress like that, the
Yeah.
amount of chemicals it releases
Yeah.
can like basically you just like shut up a bunch of heroin.
Yeah. Yeah, you could hallucinate a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, I think like it's again also that psychological thing where like humans can cling on to anything and just self-destruct. So like say now they're in a position of death, and then you see this while you're dreaming, and now you're not dead. It must have been that. Like you just like you could get stuck to that, and you're like, oh, it must have been Jesus because I don't know what else it fucking was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not gonna say. I was
No,
that's
say
it
really
was-
fucking dumb.
it
Okay,
was
no.
Yahweh.
Am I right to say that Christianity and Muslim people have the same God? They just have different prophets.
Not necessarily.
They're from the same origin.
They have the same
Judaism,
prophets.
Islam, and Christianity have the same roots, and Adam and Abraham are all
Like if you
I don't
read
know.
their religious like scriptures,
I know-
and whatnot,
no, but I'm saying, like,
it they
Abraham-
have a lot of
Abraham is-
recurring characters.
Abraham is
crossover.
but who's the ripoff then? Which one's the ripoff?
Hey, it's like which spin-off made more
Oh
money?
wait! Let's talk about
Christianity.
who. Have you guys all seen the life of Brian?
Life of Brian. Oh,
Monty
Oh,
Python.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
yes.
They speak. They pretty much parody all religion
Yeah,
by
they do.
saying you idolize whatever, just based on. Because I mean,
That's
that
a
guy's shoe,
controversial
his
view.
shoe fell off, and they were like, "This must be the holy shoe." They want us to take his shoe off. So I mean, like, that's kind of
But that
how you see
how
it.
stupid as they might sound, it's
It's-
really
it's
true.
really
about,
true,
It's
yeah.
really true. About
Yeah.
like something out of the
It's like,
ordinary.
oh my
that-
god, Kim Kardashian does eyelashes like this. I'm gonna do mine like that.
I wish
It's
Like
the
if,
same
if something happens out of the ordinary, someone will be like, oh wow, that's not normal, so therefore it
Yeah.
must be some other power busy influencing it.
Yeah, you
And
know
that
that-
also has a thing to do with context, because there's that guy in the
Mm.
hole,
Yeah.
and he doesn't speak, and then he goes and he like starts, I don't know what he does, then the guy speaks, and then they all come in like, whoa, whoa, he made him speak, he's like, but you need context to see that, yeah.
You know those two Columbine kids, you know they quoted Monty Python like shot people made of shotguns.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That was because that was their like favorite movie.
Oh, that's
I have a
disturbing.
question. So you know how like way back in the day, like it was like there was hectic racism and women couldn't do certain things or whatnot. But like what changed? Why now suddenly can? I'm not saying they shouldn't, not at all. But I'm saying like why are women now in power?
I think it has a lot to do with like information, flow of information. Because back then the technology, you wouldn't be able to see what's going on in like another country, like really easily. So
Like women wouldn't be able to back each other up.
No,
Like,
No,
if
but
it wasn't
no,
for,
that's
like,
not what I'm
a
saying.
lot
Like
of
think about it. So
No, I'm saying it like they grew because
humans are superior, therefore we like manipulate cattle or whatnot to benefit us. So back in the day, say now men had control of the world, and they like, okay, so women are there for us to make children. How did it now change that men
Well,
what made
this-
men have this realization
just-
that this is wrong,
can
that
I just
women
bring
are an
up, like-
object or whatever?
So, what I understand from this is women were really oppressed, but then in World War II, all the men had to get sent away, so women had to take over the.
World War One and
Was it one?
Both of them.
I don't know, it was one.
One, that's the era when they started to get their rights.
Because women had to start working in factories and stuff,
Yeah.
because there wasn't enough people to.
So they
start
started
doing
to
these
get
things.
more independent from men because
They
were-
needed to make money and stuff, yeah.
So it was the world wars that like
So,
catalyzed the change.
Yeah, technically.
Well,
it can-
mostly for most social changes to occur, there has to be a major event to take place in a way.
Yeah, because none of them, like, women didn't used to work back then. Like, it was like
So,
an
like,
unseen thing, but then they were forced to work.
Let's sort of take slavery in America. The major event would have been the Civil War
Yeah,
that made the big change also throughout the world.
yeah.
I'm gonna time travel and make sure world wars never happen.
But also like there's communities today in Turkey that women feel the need that they have to be like actually covered and then they have to have long hair and they have to be
Shut up. Stop laughing.
Jesus.
Eric's like, shit, this kid's gonna erase me from the timeline if I say something. I'm gonna keep
That's
quiet.
exactly what I was thinking. I was like, holy shit, if Diana has the power to go back in time. He's gonna like find me at a playground and like scare the shit out of me. Don't fuck with a guy called Dion
You fucking go to South Downs, you see this kid Dion, you start idolizing him. It's like you see just like these fucking halo around his head. He's like walking around the school halls.
Yo, if I altered the timeline, would I remember the other one?
yes, you would.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
I'll stop.
I remember me and Brent like once like we literally had to sit like somewhere for like 3 hours and the whole 3 hours we just talked about time travel. Wanna know where it goes? Nowhere. If you talk about time travel, you just go like that, dude.
But, cause, okay, I don't want to start this because then it's never gonna end.
Yeah, it's never gonna end.
Let me rather
So
not.
should we continue with the woman thing?
I think it's a bit controversial, actually.
Who cares? Fuck
Controversial.
controversy. That's what it's for. Rules are meant to be broken and things are meant to be broken. Fuck that.
Except my Xbox.
Now I feel like we're looking more in the view of the Western world. We can't view things just from the West.
Yeah.
Because in Turkey, as I say, women have the need to actually be because they view fat as sexy and blonde hair.
In Turkey?
Well, yeah,
Oh.
there's those groups in Turkey, like Eastern Turkey,
I don't know.
all of them. And they feel like if they have their sexiness, they have power over the man because they can control the man, and then they can get what they want.
Isn't there a TV show about that? I
No.
swear to God, there's like one of those shitty soap operas where the women are like maids or something. thing. I saw the trailer one time.
No, this is my anthropology lecture.
You could bring it down to culture, because different cultures have different
Yeah.
views on
You
women.
you can't make a generalization on the view.
Only now in certain Middle Eastern places are women being able to.
Yes, but now they're following the
drive or
view
whatever.
of Western
Yeah.
culture and beauty.
Yeah.
Because this is actually what the anthropology lectures were about, beauty. Because like we assess the question like what is actually beautiful? What is generally beautiful?
It's
And
an
you can't
everyone
actually
It's an
say
opinion,
that.
I guess.
You can't say that because as I said,
personal-
What makes
Yeah, it's an
your
opinion.
hormones go ding dong?
Woo!
Give it much long.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
it's all an opinion though. I don't think it's
but it's not. It's different cultures that influence the people to actually think like that.
Yeah, but I mean like.
What do you view as beautiful? What's beautiful in a woman's look?
But it's
Like a
opinion.
face. I mean, I don't really give a shit about
face.
like.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you
Are
gay?
you positive?
No.
Then I could. Wait, shit.
What's your point?
Yeah, why the
'cause
fuck
because listen, if the body doesn't matter, listen,
No, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want some bitch with ET eyes.
No, but that's the thing. Somebody might find that bitch with ET eyes beautiful. Whereas,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's what
you can't tell.
Who's a kid from ET?
no, but why would
Yo, girl.
the point is, why would someone find that ET
That was a really clever joke that I just made.
That was fucking good. Say go home, bitch. Flying around in a place.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't tell. I ET with the.
Wait. I have a question. How do you differentiate between your opinion and like genetics? Because
Genetics.
like the way you feel is like chemicals being released in your body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
It's more of a reaction though, but like feelings and stuff, that's not genetics.
isn't it?
No.
No, that's,
You can learn to
that's human
control that
society.
stuff.
That's
Mm.
influencing.
Because then I would say like
That's one thing that a lot of sort of the what do you even call them? You know, the non-binary, the trans whatever community, they bring it up like
LGBTQ
yeah,
community.
oh yeah.
that the way they feel about it how it stems from genetics and that kind of stuff.
So that kind of like goes back to the like, is it chemical or is it like feelings? Are they separate and?
Yes, I think you could even
Yeah.
view humans as factual and opinion. Like their subconscious is like their non-physical being is their opinion side, and then everything else is factual. Because like, oh no, because
But it's like when people act differently online than in real life, I guess.
That's like
Yeah,
saying
that's
like
the thing with the mask.
Yeah.
Like with the Japanese with the 3 masks.
Yeah.
isn't that doing like when you do something that you know is wrong but you get joy out of it, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing we were talking about killing people. Like, what the fuck? How did that?
We literally have not found out what's the cause for that. We just
I don't think we will.
they're like oh it might be your relationship with your mother, and it's like no it could also be with your father. And it's like oh no maybe it stems from childhood. It's like oh no. but
maybe
then-
it's just
Yeah, because Ted
interesting
Bundy
to
said it
kill
was
people.
porn, and
Yeah,
I mean, like
it's
everyone
like
says
different. Like this one guy literally like saw a shoe once, and because of that he started killing women and putting shoes on them.
I feel like it would just be interesting, like seeing how a human. Okay, no, this is gonna
No,
sound
no,
really
maybe-
serial
Oh,
killer.
no, no, I
Just like
I get what you're
curiosity on how like
I get
What you would
how
feel.
someone would react if I was like
Yeah.
cut
You
them
know,
open and
You
I
will
don't
not
think
do it.
that's the reason they go to the. I think that's what pushes them to actually do it. So they
Yeah.
probably feel like they want to do it, but then the curiosity of like what it'll feel like will actually push them to actually do it.
Yeah.
But it like differentiates between because that what you just said that's 100% Edmund Kemper. Like he literally just thought about it. Like he used to
Yeah.
give rides to people, and he's like, I wonder what would happen if I just shot her in the face right now.
Yeah.
Nothing compelled him to do it, just the thought of that alone.
Curiosity.
And then he just like one day he's like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Then he did it.
I feel like I could think of more reasons not to do it than to do it. Is why I wouldn't do
Have
it.
you read Slaughterhouse 5?
No,
It's like a.
I prefer Slaughterhouse 4.
Oh, okay. But anyways, there's one part, like at the end of the book, after the firebombing in World War II, the author writes the bird, like a bird says putty wheat, and the whole point that he wrote that is because putty wheat means nothing, like there's no point to anything of the killing, like it's just empty.
Oh, you know what's one interesting thing I would kind of recommend to anyone who's kind of interested in the kind of serial killer or whatever thing is. Have you ever heard of Pam's Ram?
Pam's what?
The guy's name was Pam's Ram. I think that was his surname. He like literally documented, like he had a diary documented like his entire life. I think he raped something like over 100 men or something.
Yes.
To put it in perspective, like what kind of guy he is. He like wrote an entire autobiography of all this stuff, and he's quite in tune of why he thinks he did it and stuff. It's like a whole damn thing. It's quite
That's
interesting.
interesting.
You're such a simple man.
A book.
Yeah, that's what he wrote.
He's an arson,
You
he's
buy
a
it.
burglar, he's a
Hmm?
rapist,
You
he's
buy
a
it.
serial killer.
Me?
No, like, can you buy the book?
Oh, I think so.
He claimed to committed 21 murders, most of which could not be contributed. Over 1,000 sodomies of boys and men.
Yes,
Yeah, it was a big guy.
that's a lot.
You just like put his hands in and rape you. Oh my god, Edward Kemper dude, he's like 6'11".
Yeah, bro. Yes.
Even this pedophile.
Yeah, he like weighed like 300 pounds. Like if what's his name? Like
He's
if
still
Jeffrey
alive.
Dahmer tried to kill me, I'd be like, no, but a fucking 6'11", like Kemper comes up to you, dude. He puts his hands on you, you're not gonna get away. He'll literally like pick you up.
He'll be like, you'll be okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
I watched a video, it was a while ago. It was, I don't know what the experiment was, but it was to test like whether pain, like whether like the human mind will experience feelings that of pain rather than be bored. And they tested it by putting a person in a room with a button, and they made them wait because they said that the person was gonna go in for an appointment or something with to do the test, but they didn't know that they were actually doing the test, just waiting.
Yeah.
And they basically made them wait and wait and wait. And then the person, you see the person like test the button, so they push it and it shocks them. They're like, oh yes, it's okay. And then they know, okay, if I push this button, it causes pain. But then gradually over and over again, the people actually like, because there's nothing to do, they push the button again, and then like they feel the pain again. Even though they like they know it's gonna hurt them, they do it anyway because there's nothing else to do.
We could talk about that in what's the word now? I guess self-awareness, because we said that self-awareness, well, like walking is like we just know how to walk.
Yeah.
But that's all a memory, right?
Yeah. Experience.
That's like in Memento. You guys haven't seen it, but Eric, you've seen it.
Yes.
When they're testing him, they shock him, but because of his memory, he can't remember that they shocked him. But they like try and like drill it into him that this is gonna shock him, like just force it out of habit, like a natural instinct that he knows is gonna shock him, but he never does because it's always memory. Which is like, I guess, everything has to relate back to memory in a
So
sense. But I mean that's obviously a movie, it's not real. But
Yeah. But you could kind of relate that to like dog training or something. Like you, with the clicker, like you tell your dog to sit, and then they eventually sit, and then you click, and then you give them a treat. So then they you condition them to like,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Pavlov's dog.
yeah,
It's have you heard of Pavlov's dog?
no,
It's where basically, so there's a guy called Pavlov, big stinky old man, and he had this dog. So what he'd do, whenever it's feed time, he would like ring a bell, and the
Yeah.
dog would like know it's time to eat, and the dog's like mouth would water up because it's gonna go eat.
yeah,
So he conditioned it after a while that every time the dog would hear the bell, it like its mouth would start watering, even if there was no food.
yeah.
oh, what the? That's
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool.
Pavlov's dog.
But
Like my dog.
you could bring that to like self-awareness again, kind of. 'Cause
Yeah.
like you know when those cases where people have been abducted and then they become so used to being like
Oh,
Abducted that they-
Stockholm
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. then how can you tell that
Well,
that
then
person's self-aware?
Well, I
Because they've been conditioned now to
like that
to
person.
like and to do all of these things, and yeah.
I don't understand that Stockholm syndrome at all. Though. I don't understand how someone could.
They think it'll help them like just get through it. Well, that's where it starts, and then it, you know.
I need
Are
to
you
take
licking
that.
What?
I still need to take that home.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a death grip on it.
Should we end the podcast?
I don't know. Does anyone want to bring up anything?
It's 1:10.
1 hour 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess that ends it for the first podcast ever. Wow.
Let's kidnap someone and test the Stockholm syndrome.
Keep quiet. Jesus.
Okay, let's decide who it would be.
Brand.
No.
No.
He's the only one who's gonna
Let's
listen.
end the
No, to make it
let's
like,
end the podcast and I'll say
to make it like really like prove that it works. You have to take someone who's really independent.
Yeah.
we need a female
For what reason?
because we can overpower them.
Did you get those Dax bodybuilders chicks that endorse you, dude?
Think about it. Like, say now we kidnap someone like Brent. Eric, I would be able to help hold him down while Eric's there. But as soon as I have to look after him on my own, like it's my day to watch over the capsule, and he says he'll don on me.
The chick could just be like, "Hey, damn, don't you wanna let me out?"
Yeah,
Have you ever seen Prisoners?
Yes.
Where we can build like that shower thing, where we build this thing around and put like a hole, and if you like actually like spray with hot water and you can like just shove food in there. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
That was so fucked
That
up.
was very fucked up.
That's like the French movie was.
Martyrs.
Martyrs.
Have you
yeah.
seen Prisoners?
So we don't kill
Hugh
him.
Jackman.
You know what's more
What's Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, you know what's more fucked up was that guy's basically a 5-year-old.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Gets
You
me.
should watch Prisoners. It's pretty good.
You know,
I haven't downloaded.
everyone's technically a prisoner in that film. Like that film. It's so depressing.
Is the invitation good?
You know the
No, it's fucking horrible. Oh my Jesus, dude! I watched that movie. I was telling Eric
But
about it.
Still never
doesn't
seen
it have
it.
high reviews?
No, it's shit. They don't
Because
watch
like the plot twist at the end.
It's not even good. The whole movie, you know about the plot twist. Like it pretty much like it points towards a plot twist, and then at the end, like, do you want me to spoil the movie?
I know.
No,
I know what
I
happened.
might watch it.
I know what happened.
Well, someone's got rats.
Yo, I saw that. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Because like, they're like, oh,
It's like
this
all-
is the reason why I think it, and then like they're just like, oh, you see, he's wrong, and then like 5 seconds after, it's like, no, he was right the whole time. It's like, wow, how cool, and then it's like, just big load of shit off of that. But the whole movie's pretty shit. But yeah, it's one of the things I talk about with the cult thing. Kind of ruins it at the end. But yeah. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening, Brent. Do you want to end it?
Shit.
Don't arrest us.
Wait, you're not gonna be our target, don't worry.
Don't arrest us.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, cool.
But think about it.
Stop drinking,
How
man.
do you get a group of people to do something bad? Like, obviously, you wouldn't be able to
Oh,
choose, right?
That's
because
another thing we can talk about. That's like that Charles Manson thing.
Oh.
The only reason it failed is because he had more than himself. Like, you can never trust anyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, like, say now I really did want to kidnap someone and test the Stockholm thing, and then Eric's like, yeah, sure, but then Jared's like, no, if you guys do that, you're gonna tell the cops. So like, okay, fuck, we have to exclude Jared, but we need 3 people. How are we gonna get a third person?
There was
Then you
a-
can't really choose the third person. You just need someone who will agree to do it. Then you have all sorts of weaknesses and shit.
Isn't it you like attract people that? And I'm not saying like a sexual attraction. I'm saying like you attract people that complement your personality and like how you are.
Yeah.
And
But
let's
I
say,
mean,
like,
there's a bank robbery that I was reading up in Japan. They made like fake cards, and then they went to ATMs and like
oh, that's the one where
all
like,
the like there was like
300 people
like
involved.
yeah like
or
300
something.
people
Sure.
stole like over like 20 billion or something.
Yeah.
Really stupid. Like in
They
15
like
minutes.
all went to an ATM and they
Yeah.
all withdrew like a certain.
At the exact same,
the
like almost at the
exact
exact same time.
300
Yo,
Wait,
Yeah,
how did they
and it
do
didn't
this?
fail. Like it's still no one knows who they were.
Yeah.
That's
like you can't track that.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane, dude.
Yo, if like you were scared someone's gonna rat, that's gonna be really stressful.
It's like getting in.
300
What?
people.
You think Ling Ling's gonna remember Yin Yang Yin Yang
Yeah,
X
have a
Yin
WhatsApp
Zhao Ping
group.
Pang Wen?
WhatsApp group with all the
They
numbers
probably-
on it.
The way how I thought they would have done it is like just
build
a
one-
hierarchy, right? So
One guy does everything.
There might
talks
be
to
like
everyone.
5 people, or let's say like 3 people, and then those 3 people
Actually-
had 10 people that reported to them, and then in those 10 people another.
That's
10
actually
people.
Oh, that makes sense. I was
Yeah.
thinking
No,
more they all get into like one
but
building.
that plan has a weakness. Is if one exposes the leader and then the leader gets caught, then everyone's done.
Not
But it's
necessarily.
also really good.
Whereas
because
everyone
if
has
there's
equal
more
status,
people-
then it's
If there's more people, they'll be like, people won't actually believe it
Yeah.
because it'll be like something like no.
But I
And
mean,
also
it-
they won't know like each other like you said.
Yeah, they could have all used like false aliases.
Yeah.
Oh, but obviously there has to be a mastermind
Yeah.
to organize this thing.
Yeah.
And they had a group session.
Like post on Facebook, hey, we're stealing from 380, well, like a few ADMs, like we're doing as many as
Yeah.
however many show up.
Okay, I reckon this should be the final. The third time's a charm, guys. Bye,
I swear,
brains.
we're still getting arrested from that first like religious.
When we start talking about women being oppressed. Stop it, Eric. I
Oh,
don't want to push.
Alright, this is I suppose the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I already spoke about ending it twice
Yeah.
already. Okay, bye, bye, Brent.